Hey guys, I just want to make this video real quick. It's specifically about the NX, and I just wanted to talk about the Eurogamer kind of rumors that have been going on for quite a while. Specifically, I was going to make a video not too long ago where I basically said the same thing, and then Eurogamer was saying that it's probably going to be some tablet-like system. What I wanted to point out specifically was that I many people are trying to say that the Eurogamer rumor possibly is fake, and it's going to be something much more different. And I just want to point out, like, I mean, we're at the time when the leaks that usually come out are usually kind of legitimate, like they're not falsified. And this happened the same thing with the Wii U when Project Cafe kind of rumors came out and they showed you what the system was going to be like. It's pretty much a hint at what the system was going to be like. I mean, they were kind of wrong with some things, like you couldn't, not all controllers had a screen on it, only the big tablet controller. And in a way, this is these kind of differences are expected. The same thing's gonna happen with the Gamer rumor. I think it's pretty much legitimate at this point. Like, I think this is what the system is gonna be like. I know some people want to argue and say like it can't be. It has to be something else because this isn't a new way to play. I think people are kind of overthinking the new way to play thing. I mean, that's just a comment that Nintendo made. There are different ways to make a system that with a new way to play. Specifically, this is if you think about it, it is kind of a new way to play. There's probably going to be ways to utilize the system in new ways that you can never do with like any other system before then. Like there might be some AR technology in there, like you can use it for different things. You can use it in the real world, like you could with Pokemon Go and stuff like that. And it's no magical it's not something magical like or different. Like people are kind of expecting like a Wii kind of thing, like something unexpected. I don't think that's what you should expect. It's not something you can see, especially nowadays. Like everything that's been done is kind of like it's harder for you to invent something where it's something like you see it and it'll be something new. But on top of that, like even in the Wii, like if it came out and the Nintendo was gonna say like it's a new way to play, and then people were like leaked the rumor where it's gonna be like this gun thing that you can point at, and you can do things like shoot things on video games without having to use a regular controller. People would say like, hey, that's not a new way to play because like they have the original NES had a light gun, and so it's I mean it's kind of bullshit. Like you can go on with this way, like if you think about it, you can nitpick about everything, and you can always say it's not a new way, it's not this or something else. Like you don't know what that comment meant. Like I'm pretty sure the system will utilize a new way to play without it being like some different new technology. Like it doesn't have to be. Like it's already pretty new. Like you never had a handheld from Nintendo that you can play on your screen. Like now you can. Like there's gonna be a way to do it, and that's gonna be pretty much what I think is the new way. And it's gonna utilize certain things. I'm pretty sure they're getting hints from Pokemon Go, and they're gonna try to integrate some way where you can use play video games and then have the real world interact with it in some way, and that's gonna be amazing. But I mean, I just wanted to point out, like people are literally really nitpicking at every little comment Nintendo ever made about what could possibly be the NX. And I can see why. Like, there's lots of hype, but it gets to the point where it's a bit ridiculous. Like, we already have some evidence. We can kind of hint at it, and like we can try to point it and say like this evidence can't be this because there's other evidence pointing that this can't be that. But I mean, if you look at even if you just think about it and sit down, the Eurogamer evidence so far, like rumor anyways, can be used more as evidence because like if you look at what the market in Japan is doing, like people aren't buying consoles anymore, and like on top of that, Nintendo's worried about releasing another console because it'll just fragment the console market even further in between three more systems, and then Nintendo has a chance of like, and even if they sell the most system consoles and they share games with like third party games with Sony or Xbox, and even then they're just fragmenting their own user base, and then they're not gonna sell 200 million systems of the NX, especially with the PlayStation 4 out there already. It's just not gonna happen. They'll probably sell like maybe 40 million if they're lucky, and that's not enough. Like the Wii sold 120 million units, and they want to sell that many, and the only way I can see that happening is if they release another handheld. That's a market that Nintendo exclusively has always owned. But on top of that, if you tell people this is going to be their new main focus, this handheld that also works as a console where you can connect it to your TV if you'd like, then people would be more inclined because the 3DS is almost on its way out anyways, and once it is, like people can just buy their new handheld, and people will. People will buy their new handheld, and if it's the NX, they'll buy it in droves. And then on top of that, Nintendo can probably even sell 200 million NXs by just saying that it's also their console that they're focusing on. So the console market that wants a Nintendo console will have to buy the NX, a handheld from Nintendo that you can play on your TV, and it'll be great. Like, I mean, I know some people are against it, but I think this is the way the market is going with it. Like, it makes sense because Nintendo merged their developers already from the console developers and the handheld developers together, and that makes more sense. Like, and then that's more evidence to tell you that the Eurogamer leak or whatever rumor is probably more accurate. And then on top of that, you also have the fact that they did this deal with DNA. Like, Nintendo's not doing this just for getting games on smartphones. They wouldn't do that in the past. They're doing it for a reason. And chances are because it's related to their new console as well, the NX. Like, it has something to do with it. Like, there's a reason why it looks like a tablet. And there's a reason why I even predicted in my last video that it probably would be a tablet. And the reason was because, even though I said like it was a Nintendo phone, the reason is because the system, the evidence is pointing at it probably being some phone-like tablet thing, considering the market of today being mostly like the smartphone market degrading both the handheld market Nintendo has and also the console market. So Nintendo just wants to capitalize on what is happening in that market. So they just want to be the first at something. So they're going to be the first at releasing pretty much console-level games on something like a tablet, which they can, in the future, hopefully merge into something else. What I'm guessing is that in the future, video games are going to probably be played off your smartphone because they'll be very, very powerful. And they can play just about any PC games. And then all you have to do is, like, find your game, your PC game or whatever, open that program app, whatever, and then just play it, stream it to your TV and play it. You basically it doesn't interfere with your phone usage or anything. You can use your phone as well while you're playing your game, whatever. The thing is that it's actually playing the game on your TV, and then that'll make consoles completely obsolete. You don't need to connect wires or anything. Like, you'll just stream the thing to the TV. That's the future of what's going to happen with video games. So Nintendo probably already knows that and can see something like that happening. So they're just going into this market now. Dominate the handheld market, dominate the phone market, be the only one that survives once the consoles die out, and they will. So it's a smart move by Nintendo. They're just, they failed. They too frequently are not selling as many consoles, especially since there's been more competition. They've been selling less and less. Why keep selling something that you have such a heavy competition? Why not preserve the only market that you own right now, the handheld market that's being slightly degraded by smartphones? Preserve that, strengthen it, sell way more handhelds than you ever have, and go with it. That's what I think Nintendo's going to be doing. And there's a reason to think that. Like, pretty sure like you can't play multiple. People can't play multiple users on the NX if they take it out, so they're probably going to buy, families are probably going to buy like 1 or 2 NXs depending on how many kids they have or how many people want to use it. Like, there's going to be adults as well. Like, if dad wants to play video games on the road as well, they're going to have to buy another NX. Like, it's going to sell tons if that's the one limit to it. I'm sure it'll be cheaper than what people are guessing as well. I'm sure it's going to be great. However, I do think it's not going to be that powerful. I don't think it's going to be as powerful as PlayStation 4, because if it is, then it'll be way more expensive. And if Nintendo does that, then I'm pretty sure they'll have a system that might fail, since it's a handheld kind of thing. But at the same time, like, I don't know, like, it might be that powerful and it might be that expensive. And that kind of would suck to some extent. However, they can rely on the fact that it's a console, and they can sell it as a console to increase sales while it gets cheaper and cheaper over time. Once it's super cheap, they can sell it as a handheld again. But that'll just create more problems, and Nintendo doesn't want to fail at this time, fail the system at this time. So I'm pretty sure you're going to see just a handheld, and it's going to be not super underpowered. It might be more powerful than the Wii U, for instance, but to the level of the PlayStation 4, I'm guessing it might not be. It'd be exciting if it is, and it'd be exciting if it's cheap, but I just don't see it happening. From a business standpoint, I think it's unnecessary. I would love it. Like, I would really, really, really love it if it was more powerful than the PlayStation 4, because I've been I would love to see those games on a Nintendo console again. I would like to see Nintendo compete again in the market. So I'm just hoping that everyone's wrong and that the system will be something else, but I just don't see it happening anymore. Like, I think the Eurogamer rumors have to be more accurate than when some people are out there are trying to think it is. Like, it just, it's just looking in the past, like, it's always, all these leaks have always been kind of accurate, so I don't see why it wouldn't be accurate now. Anyways, that's all I wanted to talk about. Like, I just wanted to post a quick video since I haven't in a while. Anyways, I'm gonna try to post more. If people like actually like these videos and like watching them, I will keep posting and making more. Anyways, until then, see you guys later. Bye.